If you want a meme on Mike, here is the start of the replay to his YouTube rant. Oh, okay.
Alright, here we go. So Noob posts this video. Is it time for a better new player experience?
Oh, this is the Noobifier thing. Okay.
I think it's poorly titled.
Hello, YouTubers. This is the Noobifier. I believe we, the community, have a very...
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's a weird title to begin with, right? Like, new players need a new experience, but okay, all right.
Simple problem. I normally try to be quite neutral, down the middle, and informative with my content, so please indulge me. I do have an opinion today, but as always, my goal is to make things better. If you follow the channel for quite some time, you're going to know that I don't feel that the funding model, which is the ship store, offers an inviting and easy to understand new player experience.
Okay, so right away, is it time for a better new player experience?
Okay, so right away, is it time for a new player? I'm sorry.
We're not even talking about the game, right? We're talking about the ship page and the store. And is it time for a better store experience? Absolutely. It absolutely is time for a better store experience. It's incredibly confusing. It's horrible. There was a time where there was going to be a website change, and they did it. They made the website look different, but very similar to the game. Everything ends up looking better, but not really playing better, right?
Yeah, I agree. They changed the website, and they were like so happy about it. Like they got a whole new studio to do the website, and it's just as cumbersome, if not more so. They basically split the website into 3, and each like part of the website makes no sense, and all the information that you want to see is buried underneath like several links.
Right. So the web page is still a confusing fucking maze of just a mess, right? So it's yeah. Let's continue.
I'm not saying that its record-breaking funding is ineffective, but from the outside looking in, Star Citizen is confusing at best. It's a scam. Do I need to buy $1,000 ships?
Well,
it's a scam. Do I need to buy $1,000 ships? Will it ever finish? Etc. etc. I consider myself a well-informed backer, and sometimes even I have trouble keeping up with CIG's new promotions. We as citizens are the ones who have already made it through the store process, either by luck, a detailed video, or an org member who bothered to take the time to explain. We just had Invictus Fleet Week, and for that celebration, CIG offered a new package option that had no negatives. Full access.
That it had no negatives. Right?
What does that mean?
This is like an interesting thing, because when a package is overinflated with things to sell to, like, you know, high insurance, then I actually consider that a negative.
Access to the persistent
it's
universe
different than what other
in the
people
best
get.
ship, a custom.
I mean, I wouldn't say that that's necessarily a negative thing, you know? Like, it kind of rewards people for basically not paying money, if you know what I mean. It's like why things like the Steam Summer Sale exists and why that's so successful, you know? Like, you just wait for special things to happen and you get them.
Skin, starting credit, the option to add Squadron 42, and 10-year insurance. Now that Invictus is over, we're back to standard, and that makes me sad. The reason this makes me sad is that I have an open door policy, and people can easily contact me through social media, through comments, and even by email.
I can't wait to see the reaction video.
And it pissed me off. Noobifier, I watched your video where you were saying to buy an Avenger Titan War Bond. All I see is Avenger Titan Starter with 6-month insurance. What am I doing wrong? Can you help? Is insurance important?
I mean, it's partly what Noob did wrong, is not explain that it was a limited sale, and that if you don't buy it by X day, then you won't get it. That could be part of the problem. Is part of the problem that this guy didn't pay attention to Noobifier's video and well enough and didn't understand what was going on? That could be part of the problem. The other part of the problem is that the website is impossible to navigate, so... Yeah,
the store page is legitimately the worst part of the game. It's so weird how that's consistently bad, even after they basically revamp it and, you know, make it look pretty. That guy's question is a bit odd as well. It's like, I watched the video and it says, you said buy an Avenger Titan War Bond. That basically means buy it Avenger with money, without any store credit. All I see is an Avenger Titan Starter with 6 months insurance. So that sounds like a war bond with 6 months insurance. What Noobifier did wrong is that he called it an Avenger Titan War Bond when you should just called it an Avenger Titan, because War Bond specifically just means that you're paying real life money for it. If you don't have any money in the game, you can't not buy War Bond. It has to be. But yeah.
All right, let's continue.
My reply was very detailed, but the Cole's notes are along the lines of, that ship package was a special promotion and is no longer available. Insurance might be important. I do have a couple of those packages in my buyback.
For the meme
Send me
search.
$40 and I'll send it to your account.
And
That transfer was done. I even cut him a deal.
Wait, what?
The new citizen is happy, but still confused. And I've basically become a member of the gray market.
Why would he do
CIG,
that?
Why must this be that complicated for the other 50 weeks of the year?
Why would
Why
noob...
can't that package
What?
just be the package? I see the store website.
All right, and that's where I take issue, and that's where I decided to make a video response on this video, is why can't that package just be the package? So Noobifier's response to the issues involving the player store or the pledge store is that, well, you know what, just give everybody insurance for X amount of months, right? Just make it for sale for everyone. Okay, now you're still not solving the problem, right?
That's
so here's
a
the
weird
deal.
side thing.
Johnny 2 times bought an Aurora 5
that
years ago,
bastard Johnny,
and
yeah.
it has 6 months insurance. How does he get that 12 months insurance or 120 months insurance or whatever, right? So Johnny's got his Aurora, but now it's just as complicated because now he needs to go into the CCU packages and figure out how to CCU from this Aurora over to that one, right? My solution, I think, is a lot simpler, and it's the idea that CIG has been selling us insurance for way too long, and I don't think it should be something that's for sale, but we'll let the video play a little bit longer and hear what Noob has to say.
Yeah, I think essentially what CIG needs to do is they just need to go ahead, and it's going to be really difficult for them because it's been so ingrained in in I guess what the game has been for a long time. What is insurance? What is LTI? It's such a non-thing that the backers basically have in their minds what LTI is supposed to be or what insurance is supposed to be, and they've been making bank not explaining it. The moment you explain, like, oh yeah, LTI doesn't actually mean anything, what do you mean? Or, you know, like, or the moment you kind of make what insurance in our minds is supposed to be lesser, you're gonna get less sales for like crappy things like that only cost $30 but have LTI because people use those as tokens, for instance. But yeah, we'll see what they say.
Stational shopping center that everyone wants to shop at.
Yeah.
CIG built a moat around it and then installed a bridge that lowers once or twice a year.
Yeah, for
Since the
LTI
start,
tokens,
CIG,
basically.
You said that LTI won't be important, and you offered it on concept as one-time special incentive, and
Yep.
have systemically demonstrated.
And not only that, before that, they sold it as, you are an original backer of this game, therefore you get lifetime insurance on your initial package, right? The whole idea back then was somebody would buy a package, and that's all they would buy. And then they started buying more and more and more, and CIG started going, holy shit, they actually care about insurance. What is this? Okay, so how are we gonna do this? Well, you know what? We're gonna continue to offer lifetime insurance, but we're only gonna offer it on new ships. So new money comes in, and then they buy the LTI, and then we make more money, right? Like, it's very hard to look at CIG's funding model and go, yeah, they're not doing anything malicious at all, right? There's definitely some things that are absolutely like they sat in a meeting room and went, how can we make more money? This LTI thing is really working. Let's try that. Like 100%, right? And they've made almost $300 million doing it. So good on them, right? But here's the issue.
Okay.
The issue is exactly what Noob said, is that they made this thing and said that insurance is important, but we don't really know if it is or they said it isn't important, but we don't really know if it is or it isn't because they're sending mixed signals, right? The only time that they sell anything is with this insurance tacked on, like it's an important feature. So it's teaching people that back this game that insurance is important. And if you look at Noob's video playlist, there's countless videos that are, I said this earlier, it's Charlie from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia with red lines pointed all over the place, and his video teaches you how to make sure that you get the most amount of insurance on all of your ships by this, and then upgrade it to that, and then all these crazy things, right? And So even he's a culprit. Like, he's kind of being hypocritical, I think, here, and
He's
saying
just
like
tired
he's made
of having to
content
teach
forever
people
on
about it
how
now.
to take advantage of the LTI system, and now he doesn't want to take advantage of it anymore, and because it's gotten too complicated, right? And it's just not worth his time doing it. And the whole thing is that I agree with that sentiment. I agree with Noobifier 100% in that. What I don't agree with is the solution. And
Yo, thank you, Cogs, for the sub gift to Goosebutter. But yeah, I mean, like, it's weird, right? Like, CIG seem to be doing this really masterful, like, reverse psychology play at the moment. For Hoppy, thank you so much.
Hello, Mr. Red Hat Myre07. How's it sitting?
Oh, it's all right on this guy's head for now. But yeah. So yeah, CIG have done this like weird 4D chess play on us. I hate using that reference, but yeah, basically they came up with LTI, as Mike said, as LTI being this thing for only backers, and only the best backers can have the LTI. And then and people bought the LTI, and like then they were like, oh yeah, it's super important. Then now it's no longer important. But if it's no longer important, then why do they, as Noobifier said, extend that drawbridge every two times a year to let you get something with LTI? It's working so well for CIG at the moment to help them make money, you know? And I feel like they will... I really honestly feel like there will be there'll be an impactful loss in revenue if they just say, okay, let's explain what LTI is, you know, like in a more concrete way. They get away with being able to not explain what LTI is because we are still so early in development and this is alpha, etc., etc. It gives them time to say, okay, we're still like laying down the groundwork for how it's going to work in game, you know, like nothing is set in stone until the game gets released. But at the same time, they're making like real life money. Again, as Mike said, over $300 million worth of money so far selling these digital spaceships. And a lot of that is driven by insurance. So we'll see.
Solution should probably be get rid of insurance altogether. And we'll touch on that a little bit more, but I mean, we're only halfway through the video, so let's see.
If they get rid of insurance altogether, I think that there will be there'll be fire on the streets. That there will be. It'll be ridiculous. It'll be absolutely disgusting. Hey Cogs, take it easy. Thanks for dropping by. But yeah, I do not think that CIG will delete insurance. I think that it's too late for that for a number of reasons. And reason number one is that it's heavily ingrained in their lore. They have plans to have actually, you know how you have like a burger store and stuff in the game, and you have the admin stores. They have it already planned down and their roadmaps and stuff. Not the roadmaps you can see on the website, but stuff that they've spoken about for a long time, to go to a place to purchase insurance for your ship. It's going to be a huge necessary thing in the game in order to prevent hyperinflation of UEC. Otherwise, you have what happens in other games, like where the price of gold just means nothing, and you start like trading other items instead of the in-game currency, because everybody is always generating that currency. Insurance is supposed to be one of those money sinks to keep money relatively stable. It's also why we have that 10-to-1 NPC thing, but what kind of like moving away from the point. But yeah, let's see what they say.
See what else he has
It
to
is
say.
important, or it might be, by using it as a marketing tool. You've proven to the world that you will always be successful in funding the game. At $300 million in funding during a global recession with
Beaker.
record unemployment, you're still
All right,
able
well,
to
we're watching on Twitch, and somebody says he's talking about first-time buyers. He's not talking about first-time buyers, because first-time buyers only have two choices. First-time buyers only have two choices of a ship. You can either buy the Aurora MR or the Mustang Alpha.
That's not entirely true. If a first-time buyer doesn't see that giant banner that says join the game, they can hit that smaller banner that says pledge store, and then they can see everything else.
You have no other choices when you go to the first-time buyer stuff. So they purposely funnel you into those two ships. He is not talking about those, right? You have the options to buy other ones if you really deep dive into the website, I believe. Like, you can just start with something else. But if you go to the fly now stuff, they're funneling you to those two ships.
Yeah,
so,
they're funneling you, but I don't think that they are enough. They do seem to know that I guess it's almost there as well for people who are not first-time backers but want multiple accounts, because, you know, this is only one small debacle that we have right now with LTI, but there's another one with characters. Like CIG a while ago once said that, oh yeah, you know, like you'll have one character per account, so like, you know, you have to make multiple accounts, and then you can have those multiple accounts being NPCs on your ship, so you can then be able to multi-box and have an account on the other side of the verse, log out, log in, and also like man the same ship with multiple accounts. That's misinformation, or I should say lack of information, has driven a lot of sales as well. And I don't know if CIG has actually clarified that, but it seems weird and broken to me there as well. But that's a different issue altogether.
I don't really think he's talking about that.
I mean, Rexy says Mike seems to think new players are dumb. I mean, most people are dumb. It's not just the new players. I think that CIG really should have done this funneling thing a little bit more than what they have, because otherwise they do have issues like this. If it wasn't for the fact that, I mean, it's not even to say that new players are dumb. The website makes it so that you have to basically be a UX UI like graduate of 2019 or something to understand what the hell the person designing the website is trying to show the people, because it almost it's broken. It doesn't make sense, and you have to have like some weird like understanding of the website from a long time of using it and stuff to understand what the heck is going on.
And post the most impressive month.
Maybe a C8X or a Titan as well.
The new interested
I haven't
player
looked in a
is
little
key
while.
to our continued success. Fix the new player experience right now by offering only
they're
Warbond starter
wonky
instead.
at the moment.
There
at
are
the
no
moment, Blues.
negatives. It costs nothing because the product is just pixels anyway. And most importantly, the new player will not find out months from now that there are better packages available, resulting in frustration and a negative experience. I think it would be a kick in the junk.
But there's
to
always
support
better
the game right
packages
now,
available.
and then in November, see the same package with 10-year insurance for the same price.
Well, I mean, that's like saying, oh, somebody going onto Steam will get upset because they bought a game, and then, oh wait, they didn't know that Steam sales existed. It's just, it's you know, it's capitalism. You know, it's just how the market works, man. It's how market mafia works.
They would want to melt and rebuy
See, he's
it,
so
just to find out that they need to pay again.
Look at how set he is on insurance. Is the only thing that makes your package better. Like immediately I was like, well, a Titan package is better than a Aurora package because the Titan is just a better ship overall in the game. But then the Titan, if you look at other ships down the line that are a little bit more expensive, those ships are better than the Titan for certain things, and even some ships like the Freelancer are better overall. So it's just, I'm just getting such weird vibes from this video about some of these things.
And because it's Warbond.
It does feel like there is, I wouldn't say an agenda, but there's definitely a train of thought here that doesn't necessarily seem to be, I guess, tied to a lot of real truths here. It's like a lot of assumptions are being made to make this video, you know, but it's weird.
Actually, 120 months
because
insurance.
Noob doesn't play.
Game and be happy.
I hope you hey SaltEMike is in the chat. I hope you don't mind this Myreman Gold video that's being made, the double reaction video. It's funny, but yeah.
They can settle into the routine, become familiar with the game, and then during those special promotions that you offer throughout the year,
Saltman Bolt.
that player will be more likely to feel comfortable in purchasing another ship. Likely with Warbond because they don't have credit anyways, and because they want lifetime insurance, thus funding the game.
It does cost something. They pay people to develop the game and have the servers maintain and rent and pay vehicles. It's estimated to spend $100 million a year in salary, rent, and overhead. Okay, I think your numbers are off there a little bit, but anyway, I think the point you're trying to make is that, you know, they have dev costs and they have to make them. Sure, nobody's saying don't sell spaceships. What we're saying is that using insurance, LTI, long-term insurance, or however much insurance that they sell is weird because nobody knows what it exactly means. CIG hasn't expressly explained how insurance will be used in the game currently, and how it's currently used in game is not how you buy the ship.
Right.
So the current game packages that you're playing, you're buying the game now. You're buying Star Citizen now, to play it now. Not necessarily to play it 500 years from now, whenever it comes out. You're trying to play it now. So how does insurance work now? It's whatever I think LTI will be in the future. You
That's
just
what I
click a
think
button,
too,
you
yeah.
don't pay anything, and if you want to speed up the process, you pay a little bit and you get it faster. But other than that, the insurance that they're selling on the website is not the insurance that you have in the game, so it makes no sense. It makes no sense for it to be there.
Yeah, it's really strange. I understand that they're putting insurance there in the store page because it's a feature, it's a gameplay, it's a fact of life of the game at release. That's why they talk about insurance. That's why it's there in the store page. But there needs to be. It really does. It's really, I think maybe the word is disingenuous, because it's like, like a lying by omission almost. CIG needs to, on their website somewhere, explain what insurance is. If not 5 years ago when they should have done, today, or like, next month or something. Like, they really do need to sit down with the community and tell them what their goals are and what their plans are for for insurance. The scope changed. I mean, yes, the scope has changed for insurance, and what they didn't understand, what they had planned for insurance 5 years ago may well be different from what will be happening in the future. The fact that they're selling ships with 120 months worth of insurance is mind-bogglingly insane. It makes a purchase that's ooh, SaltEMike, you gotta request link permissions there, buddy. Otherwise, the bot will ban you. The bot will ban you. You're working, you should sub again. Oh geez, I was gonna gift sub you, but all my screens are busy at the moment. But a mod should give you permissions there. But what was I going on about? Yeah, insurance. They really need to have. They have design documents for other things that won't be coming in for years, like being able to fuel scoop and what different gas combinations and stuff will be, and how cargo grids will work. There really needs to be something on insurance because they're not making money actively on gas, or they're not making money actively on how cargo gameplay will work. But they are legitimately making hand over fist money based on misinformation or lack of information based around insurance in game. That's just the end of it.
Here's a simple action plan and you achieve all of those great things. Remove the starters on the Free Fly Now screen and replace them with Aurora MR Starter War Bond. $45 for ship, game, hangar, 1,000 UC, 120 months insurance.
So the only thing he's changing is the insurance. The only thing he's valuing is the insurance.
Mustang Alpha Starter War Bond. $45 for ship, game, hangar, 1,000 UEC, and 120 months insurance. Avenger Titan Starter War Bond. $65 for ship, game, hangar, 1,000 UEC, and 120 months
Give
insurance.
everyone LTI,
etc. Starter packages can still add Squadron 42 and purchase like normal.
I'm so sick
simple.
of this mentality, dude. I'm so sick of this mentality where even the most prevalent content creators of this game will look at this game. Look at it. Is it time for a better new player experience? And he's talking about ship purchasing. Nothing about the video game whatsoever. Has not said a single word about the video game in its current state or what it will be in the future. Nothing up to this point, and we're 90% through the video, right? That's such a problem, and that's the problem with this.
Well, I mean, come on, Mike. Isn't Star Citizen just paying for ships? There's no game. the experience is just paying money for ships, right? Isn't it?
Is that this everything about this is about the sale. And about making the sale more valuable, and nothing about the actual game and the game experience. And this is where I'm gonna go, not on Noob anymore. This is all about CIG that I have the issue with, right? Is if CIG wants to make a really good game, is you have two choices at this point, and it's either everybody has LTI and insurance works the way it does now, and you either tack something onto it later, like the deductible that we heard about. That was mentioned one time by Chris Roberts and then I never heard it again, or you remove it completely. There's no different levels of insurance, and you just have whatever insurance will be in the game, like a gold sink. And that's my response to this, is you really only have two choices. You either give everyone LTI and you maybe tack on a little bit of a gold sink to it, or you remove it from every single package that everyone purchased, because they shouldn't have purchased it based on the insurance ever anyway. It should have been purchased based on how it plays in the game, and then from there have it be a gold sync. But we'll have to see.
CIG tells us LTI isn't important, and
There
then
you
they
go.
make it a big deal to make more money.
Yes.
Which is good. We want them to make more money so that they can finish the game.
Well, I mean, so just to tackle that first thing, about the two things that the Mike said, you know, like they have two choices with LTI. They can either give everybody LTI and make it not worth anything. If they do that, then insurance as a gameplay mechanic won't make any sense. They can't do that because insurance is the gold thing to prevent hyperinflation. That as well as other things as well, but insurance seems to be heavily tied with the hyperinflation prevention. There are other games like Evorion that do this. They have insurance. They also have deposits and stuff that you have to put down money for in order to do missions. And if you you fail the mission, you lose the gold. So like I don't think it's possible for them to just go ahead and remove it. What I do think they should do, and what they can do without like too much player like anger, they can just say, going forward, we're not going to be selling insurance anymore, without actually explaining what insurance is or does. Just saying, well, we value your sales and your purchases. You can, and we'll honor your insurance. All ships going forward will no longer have LTI. They can do that. And the only issue there is that, like, again, people in chat say, if you put down money for a ship, you shouldn't lose it. So if that mentality is so strong within chat here, I feel like they're not going to be able to do that and then expect people to buy the next Nautilus or the next Polaris, because those ships may not have that LTI that they're all craving. Maybe they can do it so that concept ships will still have the LTI, but then ships during sales and war bond ships and stuff going forward will not. But again, I think that I'll see a massive drop in sales. I feel like CIG will be too scared to do that. So I think that CIG kind of like they're at a place right now where they just kind of have to sit back and do nothing because that makes them the most money. But we'll see. And Notorious says, what streamer can we get to watch this clip of Myre watching Mike watching Noob? What would they be down there? Hey, how's it going? Liking the show? Yeah, me too. All right. Stay safe. 6 feet. Okay.
But we don't want them to make it maliciously like that. And right now, that is the only malicious thing that in my mind, that CIG is doing consciously. Where I think a lot of the things that CIG does that looks malicious isn't conscious. Like, oh, we really think that this is gonna come out at this time, and then it doesn't, right? Like, I really don't think that stuff's malicious. I think that they're just
shouldn't ever be
maybe ignorant or whatever, right? So yeah,
it feels like willful ignorance, because if they choose to tackle the problem, that can cost them a lot of money. That can get somebody fired, even if it's not necessarily their fault because it's the right thing to do.
a situation where they feel like they made the wrong decision and a bad choice. Thank you very much for listening. I'm done talking, but now it's up to you to comment in the comments, post on Reddit.
I love Noobifier's way of speaking. Thank you for listening. I'm done talking. This is the end of the video. You can turn off now, but before you do, make sure to like and subscribe. This has been a Noobifier.
Post on Spectrum, post on Boomerbook. Do you feel that the first ship a new player should buy should include 10-year insurance? Please.
No, I don't.
No.
I don't think any ship should have any insurance, and that's where I'm gonna leave this. Is I don't think any ship should be sold with any insurance on it at all, and I think that insurance should be exactly what it should be in the game. It should be a gold sync, and it should be for everybody, right? And the whole thing is that people that bought $50,000 worth of fleets, well, maybe you're gonna have to suffer the consequences. I don't know. If they say insurance isn't that much of a sink, but it's just like a little thing, then even somebody that spent $50,000 on all their spaceships, well, guess what? You can only fly one at a time anyway. So I don't really see the issue here. So my solution is maybe a bit drastic, and you remove insurance from all packages, and packages that were purchased day one, all the way down to packages that were purchased today.
I don't think that they can legally do that because, like, you've bought the thing, right? and what you've bought has a whole list of things. Of course, there's that little blurb that says, you know, this is subject to change. It's a pledge. It's not a purchase, that kind of thing. So CIG could possibly do that. I'm not sure if it'll work in all territories. Australia might do something, you know, and say, oh, well, you know, blah, 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 mate. And then CIG also have to pay money. But I don't think that they should do it, honestly, just simply because that would be disingenuous then. I feel like they could remove insurance from future purchases, because that would be something that first new players won't even know what it is, so they shouldn't care, and then old players should have a chance then to know that that's going to be the case. I don't think that it should be removed for purchases way in the past because it's something that you paid for. They can change the scope of insurance. They can lay down a design document saying what it's going to be in the future. But I feel like even before like we're out the gate, they kind of ruined what the, you know, insurance by basically saying, okay, 120 months of insurance. Let's keep doubling it every single year for all these big sales. They love insurance, don't they, Chris? Yeah, they do. I mean, I hate it. I hate it so much. But we'll have to wait and see. We have to wait and see, for sure. But what else do they say?
Take them out. Have insurance how it currently is in the game, and have that explained somewhere to somebody. And then from that point forward, then you build out insurance in the game, and you never use it as a selling tool.
It needs to happen in game. That's for sure. It needs to happen in game. They once mentioned that with insurance, there'll be multiple different kinds of insurance in the game for you to be able to use. This basic hull insurance is just one part of the insurance system. How deep it goes, we don't know. Will it work when you're in Pyro, which is not a system covered by the UEE's insurance? We don't know. Will you have to actually in-game go buy Dangerous Frontiers insurance or something, or weapons insurance that's separate from your cargo insurance? We don't know. It's supposed to be a really deep thing in the game in order to stop people from being UEC billionaires and completely ruining the new player experience, because new players are never going to be able to make that money from the get-go. But yeah, I don't think that it should be removed. I think it should be honored, and this just might be because, like, the 120 months insurance or something from purchasing a ship for money, it might simply be because CIG know that they really can't delete your ship if you run out of insurance. You know, it could be that your 3 months insurance ship that you've bought like five years ago will never go, even if you blow up somewhere in Pyro or like in one of the Vandal systems or something. It might take longer for you to get it back, but I don't think it'll be gone forever. I think that gameplay will happen when the game comes out. They need to perhaps go back and say that. Maybe call it something else, like Founders Insurance or something dumb like that. But yeah, I don't know.
And you've made $300 million maliciously selling LTI and long-term insurance up to this point, and I think it's time to stop as a company. And I think that that's the solution to make things less confusing. Because honestly, if you look at the sale page and whatever's there, the only thing that people don't understand is what insurance is.
Yeah, they don't understand what insurance is. There needs to be, it's so dumb, there needs to be like an actual, on their store page, there should be a video. The first thing you see is a video saying, welcome to the store page. You want to spend some money? Here are the things. And it needs to explain those things. It does not explain anything. It doesn't tell a new player that, you know, like, it doesn't tell a new player anything important. You know, it doesn't tell them what UEC is. It doesn't tell them anything. It needs to be much more informative, and just having it in text isn't enough. Having it in a very small, tiny, like size 8 fonts blurb is not enough. There needs to be a video. They have 4 community managers. Xylo has made videos before. He could say, welcome to the store. This is this. What is insurance? And explain it. They don't need people like Noobifier making these videos saying how broken it is, or like making tutorials that could then change. There needs to be an official thing for the people to see. I saw a question there from me a second ago. It's from Swiss Tropics, who said, if they were to actually ditch LTI and insurance altogether, should it be in game on release and replaced with something like a subscription model? No, because I don't think that's what insurance is. And when you say subscription model, do you mean like real life money subscription model, or do you mean in game subscription with like your UEC. I think insurance is an in-game UEC subscription model. The only issue is that like for some reason they've made it so that you have to keep going back to like Microtech, like Insurance Co. or something in order to renew it after your 3 months or 120 months is up, you know? Like, but if they were to ditch LTI altogether and insurance, like you say, it still needs to exist in game as that mechanic. But that mechanic in game is already something that's been promised, so it should be happening anyway. Dryby says, having your ship destroyed instantly and having to grind weeks to get it back would be crazy for full-time workers that only have 1 day to play. Yeah, then they should probably keep up their insurance, you know? Like, it's the risk of, you know, either going into like a nullsec space or whatever, or to make sure that your insurance isn't out, you know? I mean, hey, it's not a forehead thing. Just pay your insurance, forehead. Insurance is not supposed to be something that's that expensive. That's what Ben Lesnick said back when he was more vocal within the, you know, like the dev team. But yeah, anyway, I think this has been a very interesting topic. Is there any more? I know Noobifier said he is done talking, but the video still has like a quarter length left. Let's see.
Everybody knows, okay, my ship looks like that. It has this many guns. Its engines are this good. It comes with this hangar. Some people are maybe slightly confused about what a hangar is, but I think it's pretty clear. And then the insurance thing is like, what's insurance? How does it work in the game? And then they come to...
I don't mean your purple line. I mean Mike's red line.
Content creators like me and Noob, and then we go,
Noobifier's red line.
We don't really know. So if you don't really know what it is, you probably shouldn't sell it, right? And that comes down to a lot of their sale pages and a lot of the ships that they sell, because they sell game mechanics like mine laying and I don't know, even the G12 saying that was a military ship and things like that, and computer blades and all these other things that they don't actually know how it's going to be implemented in the game yet. They think they know, right? But then when you actually start implementing, things change. Look at mining. The mining documentation implementation is very close to what it was in the mining doc, but it isn't exactly how it is, right? For example, the idea of a prospector having the tailings shoot out the back, that never happened.
It might still happen. It's like with the Carrack, and it's like force shields going down or whatever, like the metal foreskin that the Carrack has, and like you know, the Terrapin has the same thing, but they tied it to the landing gear or something dumb. But like it might still happen. The Carrack's like weird antennas coming up, they don't work yet either. That stuff will come, but yeah, but anyway.
Never happened. So there's all sorts of things that you really shouldn't, as CIG, sell things that you don't know how it's going to be implemented in the game yet, or until you're fully comfortable saying, this is 100% how it's going to be. And that's why I think it should just be removed altogether, and it should just get developed iteratively over time, just like everything else in Star Citizen.
Right. I mean, should it... Again, we're too far in now. We're too deep into the insurance hole here, you know? We're far too deep. We're way past that point, in my opinion. Way past that point.
And stop being used as a tool. The biggest issue here is that Star Citizen actually sells itself because it looks like this. It looks amazing.
Mike says, I really don't think we are. They told people not to buy it. They did. They said, don't buy insurance because it's not really worth that much. And then they will then sell insurance ships like for a 1 week window every year. If that's not sinister, I don't know what is. You know what I mean? Like they can't do that. They can't do that. And then say, oops, yoink, no insurance actually. Thanks for the money. Because you see what I mean? Like they would... There is you know, there is a limitation. You can't like do things like what's the word? You can't get your money back for the purchase. You can't get a refund, but there will be demand for it. There'll be heavy demand for it. That's ridiculous. I mean, like I can't even fathom how messed up the community would get afterwards. Even if people weren't really that bothered, the vocal minority will be as vocal as they have ever been. I just think that it would be way, way, way much more headache than necessary. They would rather, they should instead just recategorize what insurance is. They should re-explain it. They should say what the plan is for the future. They can't just flat out remove it, because that would be a really bad faith thing to do. You know, like, would it be the smart thing to do? Would it, like, yes, yeah, I mean, like, you have a point, Mike, but I just don't think that it would be a good faith thing to do. I feel like there would be way too much backlash from the community, and it would damage sales going forwards, you know? Like, you know, rule of acquisition number whatever, I mean, number 42, don't remove LTI because then they'll burn down our building. Like, they really need to be very careful with this, because you know, it's not a new player problem, but it's definitely an overlying issue that's been around for a long time, and it's been driving sales. They can't just remove it, I feel, anyway. Rexy says insurance is insurance, LTI is just a peace of mind. Yeah, it's true. That's true. But at the same time, it really depends on how insurance is going to work in the future. Like I said, this insurance, as I've always understood it, is baseline insurance. This just covers the hull of your ship existing. You would still need to in-game spend more money to cover things like your hard points, the weapons on your ship. Right now, in-game, your ship blows up, you get your weapons back. I don't think that's the plan for the future. That is an extra cost with the insurance company to cover your weapons. When they sold the Razor, they, in the Q&A or in the marketing page, there's a little blurb for an NPC guild, like the Racers Guild or something, for specific hull insurance for racing ships to get them faster if you crash them or wreck them. So they have this thing planned going forwards for things like this. There is a hauling guild in the game. When I say guild, I don't mean org that players own, I mean guilds that NPCs own, and they have a plan for that as well, where, like, they have a plan for that as well, where, like, in the future, like, if you get, like, if you lose your cargo on your ship, then you'll get that money back, or you'll get some of that money back for the cargo that you spent, because you're a part of that guild and you have that membership. But yeah. Jengi says, define a value for each insurance type. Add that value to those who purchased as store credit. Remove insurance. Is that forehead? Is that too hard? I don't know. End of the day, Jengi's, that's a decent solution. You know, like, it's a layered solution that's not. Oh, have a good one, Mike. Good night. But, like, that's a layered solution that would work, but it's not just about how it works, it's also about how to get the message across to people who freak out about a golf swing, you know? Like, you have to be very careful. Revicari says, Myre, the insurance should cover the baseline package you pay for. So anything higher up in the chain than what you originally paid for wouldn't be covered. An example of where people would get really salty with this is a 325A. You specifically pay for weapons packages with that ship that also includes components. Yeah. I really, really didn't like it when they showed off the 300 series customizer, and with that customizer, oh, I know, guys, let's go ahead and sell separate weapons packages too for $20. No, I really hated that, because that kind of that washes over, in a sense, that weapons insurance thing I'm talking about before, because now you're paying money for guns as well. Those guns need to have that sort of same insurance too. I really, really don't like that. But yeah, in the end, I feel like CIG just need to explain exactly what this LTI is actually insuring. They need to reaffirm that it's just this baseline insurance, so 120 months doesn't matter. 3 months doesn't matter, because that's just an incidental cost. It's all the other layers of insurance that you have to buy on top of that make sense. But I feel like they don't need, I feel like they don't want to, because if they do, and they finally said, oh, well, yeah, you know, your insurance doesn't mean much, then you're going to have people not paying as much for stuff. Right now, there is a lot of money. and I'm talking in circles right now, but I'll just say it one last time. There's a lot of money being spent by a lot of people because of this uncertainty about how LTI is supposed to work. You have people who will sit down and wait for the G12 to come on, and then they'll buy 6 G12 cars, even though they have no intention of driving a car in the game at all, because then they can CCU that into an LTI Javelin or something. Or sorry, those are always LTI, into an LTI like Polaris or something. And then you have other people who, even though they don't care how LTI is going to work, they just like the fact that it says LTI. Something about those 3 letters just makes them so happy. Fluston says, I wonder how many support requests they get about adding LTI to packages. Right? Exactly. So yeah, I just feel that's how I feel. If I say I just feel that, I'll be saying what I just said.
Right? So the game is selling itself. You don't need to sell insurance anymore. And maybe you stop today and people have LTI from today on back, or maybe you get rid of it altogether.
Exactly.
I think the best solution and the most fair solution is just to get rid of it altogether, and everybody's got to play the game the same way. Everyone's getting their initial starting points that are in different places because of the amount of ships you bought. So let's give it a little bit more of an even playing field, and everybody has to pay the same insurance, right? So guys, that'll do it for the video, I guess. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Leave a comment, link down below. This is the first time I've ever really reacted to somebody's video and put it up on my YouTube channel, so we'll have to see how that goes. I hope I wasn't too harsh on Noob, but I strongly disagree with him in this scenario. And it's very clear that Noob's focus is not so much on the game and it's more on the website, and I think that's yeah, not good. So anyway, guys, I'll talk to you later.
All right.
This was all.
So yeah. So Mike concludes, and again, I understand his points, and yeah, I feel like Noob's title was not necessarily on the point of his actual discussion, which is very heavily weighted onto the website and nothing to do with 80% of the actual new player experience that does need tweaking. Anyway, guys, this has been the first time that I've reacted to a reaction video about Star Citizen. So if you like this and you would like to see more content about this kind of stuff, then please feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.